Okay, William, we're good.
Okay. Hey, you guys. Hello, my name is William Friedman, and this is Mr. Jim Glenn. We'll be your host tonight. Thanks for joining us, giving up part of your Friday night to be with us. We're happy to have you. I'd like to send a special welcome out to each and every one of you. This is our ASEA broadcast, where we bring interesting and unique perspectives about the science of ASEA, the business of ASEA, and real life-changing experiences to all of you. This technology, the first of its kind, activates the communication channels for healing inside human cells. Wow. You know, tonight's guest we're really excited to have is Buffy Donahoo. Did I say that right, Buffy?
You did. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. From Rustburg, Virginia, naturopathic doctor, board certified in complementary and alternative health and homeopathy. Welcome, Buffy. We're happy to have you with us tonight.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I have been I guess background is military kid, military wife, moved all over the world, loved that part of it, and loved supporting our country and my family, and ended up in the end being a homeschooling mom. And so my kiddos are out and retired from that. And through the course of everything, I learned about natural health. And actually, when I lived in Germany 30 years ago, I learned about natural health, and that started my journey. And along the way, I've gotten different certifications and became a naturopathic doctor, and then got board certified in complementary and alternative health, and was a certified natural health professional in that way as well. And I had my own practice in my home, and then was getting ready to move out into a brick and mortar practice. I was going to team up with a pharmacist, and right in that same year, and it put the stops on everything because I had my own amazing testimonial, and I just went, oh, I got to know more about this. And
you broke up a second, Buffy. You broke up for a second. Can you go back and repeat that last sentence? Or were you frozen? Was she frozen on your end, William?
She was.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
About how you found ASEA, or there just that one sentence right before.
Yeah, it was really amazing because I was introduced to ASEA the same within the same time that I was going to open up my own practice. And so is there I'm sorry, is that coming from my end?
I'm not hearing the feedback.
Oh, okay. Then it must just be me hearing myself. So I'm sorry. I was getting ready to open up my own brick and mortar practice in town. And that same month, I was introduced to ASEA. And I had my own health struggles and was working on those. And I had my own tremendous experience, and it just put the whole stop on everything, opening up my whole practice. And I went, I need to know more about this. And so full stop, everything stopped. And I am not in a brick and mortar practice, and I am doing this, and this has captivated me. And I just, I just shout it from the rooftops if I could, because everybody needs to know about this.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so I can't wait to hear what happened for you.
Yeah.
But tell us about what it was like when you first started looking at this. What captured your attention?
It captured my attention because I have a lot of access to a lot of different practitioner quality products, and they all work on a different level. So your body you have to digest them and assimilate them. And, people say you are what you eat, but we really are, what we digest and what we assimilate. So, a lot of us have really expensive bathroom experiences because we're putting a lot of good things in and it's just coming right back out. And we don't know it because we're still, spending all that money and not getting any better. And so when I learned that ASEA was cellular communication, and it helps the body to repair itself all on its own without anything else external that comes from without, because redox molecules come from within. We're just in a consistent state of decline and a consistent state of deficiency. And so it made so much sense to me to just replenish what we already have, what we were created to have, and what we produce all at once. And so, I mean, the light bulbs just went on, and I dove right in and was looking at it. And, to be honest, I'm in the market where I'm looking at skincare for anti-aging or getting younger. And that was really exciting to me too, because, I've always wanted to age naturally and age gracefully. But when I saw that there was a skincare line as well, I thought, okay, I need to sit in this camp for a little bit longer and check this out. And I've never come out. So I'm fully immersed, fully engaged, and learning more every day. And it just blows me away that more people don't know about it.
I loved what you said about what we put in our bodies. What is being assimilated, right? What is actually being broken down and ultimately utilized, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying just a small amount, especially, wouldn't you agree, as we age, we're actually assimilating even less and less?
Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
This is great. I've not heard it described that way before, so that's really exciting. So tell us a little bit about, if you don't mind sharing, your health challenge and what changed for you, and what did the magic molecules do to change your life?
Oh, I like that phrase, magic molecules. Well, I had a tailbone injury, and that tailbone injury had me up and down the East Coast trying to find somebody that could get me out of my discomfort. And I had that for 5 years, and I worked on it myself, went to a lot of really smart people, natural health practitioners, allopathic health practitioners. For one period of time, I was in physical therapy 3 days a week for a year. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of money. And my body wasn't able to sustain what we were doing. And I was working on it nutritionally, through the structural process, and just couldn't crack that nut, basically. And I'll tell you, every cushion that's on the market, I have. I needed one on an airplane. I needed one on a bus. I needed one when we went to the football stadium. I needed one to sit on my own sofa. I needed a cushion to sit on my own sofa. It was excruciating, the discomfort that I had. And actually anywhere from an 8 to a 10 in discomfort level. And so I shifted. And so I started sitting on my hips. So I basically put my own body out of whack, because then it just seemed to snowball and get worse. And when I would stand up, or when I would get up from a seated position, it was as if somebody had a red hot poker and they just touched it to my tailbone, and it was just, I would wince. And so I stopped sitting down. And that's difficult. And trying to lift anything, lift my purse, lift the groceries, doing anything, getting up and down, sitting, from my own bed in the morning, I just would brace myself. So that was my new normal. And I went to a presentation, and I had no idea what Redox could do for me, what the molecules could do for me. But I'll tell you, 8 days into drinking Redox, I had zero discomfort anywhere in my body.
Wow.
And it hasn't come back. And so, yeah, when I had that experience, I just went, okay, stop. I couldn't resolve this. Nobody else could resolve this. This is an easy button. Everybody needs an easy button. Every practitioner needs an easy button. And, for the sports folks out there, I say, if you can start the game and you're in the end zone and you're that close to to your field, making your touchdown, why start all the way at the other end? Why go through those 5 years that I went through, all that money and all that time away from family and friends, and, not being able to really do what I wanted to do freely. It was a no-brainer for me to just let people know, look, let's just put everything else on hold and let's just try this. Let's see where your body can go.
How long ago was that, Buffy, when you had your injury? And what kind of injury was it? Was it a fall? Was it just one of those weird things?
It was one of those weird things. So this was a year ago, May, just 2018 in May was when I discovered ASEA. So I'm still real new to this. And it was crazy injury. I had lost weight in a rapid fashion, and I was happy that I lost a lot of padding in my rear end, but I lost a lot of padding in my rear end. And we went on vacation, and we ended up taking an excursion, and we got on a speedboat, and there was no cushion. And so it was jam, 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 jam. And I don't know. I mean, working on the tailbone was a major issue for all those years. And I just gave up, quite honestly. I gave up, and I thought, I'm just going to have to stand up and use these cushions. So I can't promise that to people. And I can't say, this is going to get you out of discomfort, but, I went to a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that go to a lot of people, so when people come to me now and they say, well, will you be my practitioner? I say, well, it really depends. I don't want you to work with me. I want you to try my 90-day success protocol. I want you to try this. Keep your money in your pocket. Don't come to me. Set up your own account with this, with ASEA. Get the products delivered directly to you. We're going to baseline your health right in the beginning. We're going to look at all those dominoes that you have sitting up on your floor of your health. And we're just going to kick down that first domino, and we're going to see all those dominoes fall. And in 90 days, we'll see what's left standing. And we'll see at that point if you still want to consult with me. And the biggest majority of people go, I'm good. I'm just going to keep using this beverage and this gel. And I might call you back, but I'm really good. And so effectively, I have put myself out of a physical business, but I have helped more people than I could ever imagine that I could have in the 14 months, starting up a practice, building a practice. Sorry. I love to help people. And, previously I was a professional volunteer, and I would just give and give and give of my time. And, here I can give the gift of the ticket of freedom, and I can help people get off that gerbil wheel. We're all in that wheel, and nobody knows that someone's screaming outside the cage, get out of the wheel. You're not going anywhere.
That's so true.
Hey, Buffy, what was it that sparked that tender moment? What were you thinking? I can't not tell people that this exists. Whether they're going to listen or not, I have an obligation to tell people that there is hope, and they can have freedom out of what they're struggling with. And, we can't make any promises, and we can't make any claims of how this will help their body. But, there was a genetic study that was done in 2017, and 100% of the participants saw a positive benefit in their genetic expression. And we don't feel when our genes get turned off, and we don't feel when our genes get turned on. So we have no idea how long it might take for somebody's body to actually respond to this. But we've not found a health challenge that doesn't respond positively to redox signaling molecules. And it's literally just a matter of consumption over time and letting your body do what it was designed to do. It wants to heal. And it just, we just need to get all the static and get all the junk out of the way so it can hear the messages. The messages are amplified, they're clear, and the body can just hear it. And then it knows, wow, I remember what I'm supposed to do, and it goes to town. And I don't have to know what's wrong with somebody. And that's what I love about it too, because as a practitioner, it can take a long time to try to drill down and figure out where we think, what came first, the chicken or the egg. You have this problem, but did it come from here or here or here? Your body knows. Your body knows where the hottest fires are. And those are the ones that are going to be, addressed in a major way, because the body wants to keep you alive. It's brilliant. I don't have to think and work on kidneys when spleen might be the issue or liver might be the issue. We don't know where the biggest flame is, and when our first responders go in as redox molecules, they just go to town. And I'm a storyteller, if you can't tell. That's how I communicate with folks. And, I just, that's always been my nature, to educate that way and to speak so that people can really try to have an experience with the message.
so that they can understand it and have a better grasp, instead of some ways that I even find hard to understand and grasp. When we get into the scientific terminology, that's not, obviously not where how I communicate.
Well, this is very exciting. You're using terminologies that are very exciting, and I'm sure all the people listening want to know more about this and more about that. I would love to hear more about your 90-day success protocol. Tell us about how would you talk to somebody that you're helping about your 90-day success protocol?
Great. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I came up with the 90-day success protocol because we are made up of cells. The whole body is different cells. We have liver cells, lung cells, teeth cells, and the cells turn over at differing rates. And so, say for instance, let me give you a foundation here. Say for instance, someone comes and they says, well, let me try one bottle. I don't support that. And I'll tell them, I don't want that, because I'm not setting you up for success that way. And I'd rather you keep your money in your wallet, because I want to set you up for success, to have a good experience with this, because we have, say 10% of people will notice a benefit just in 1 week, because it took your body a long time to get where you are. We can ignore things for years and years and years. And then finally your body goes, whoa, hey, pay attention to me. I'm going to give you this issue here, or I'm going to give you this issue here. And so we have to pay attention to it. So it took years. We have to understand that when your body is healing on its own, it's not going to be like something that we put in our mouth as a tablet and, it backs your body up against the wall and says, you will do this. And, oh, I might have these surprises for you along the way that you're not going to be happy about. But so when we, when we drink one bottle, in the week, I tell people that I want them to have a certain amount on hand in their first shipment, because that's 8 bottles basically. We have 4 bottles in a case, and I tell them, statistically speaking, we'll have people that have a terrific response. 10% of people will have a great response in 1 week. And then we have 90% of people have a terrific response in 90 days. So, there's a big gap there. And so I tell people, let's commit to 90 days out of your whole lifetime, 90 days, right? So I say, let's go ahead. And my recommendation for you, of course, you can do whatever you want, but my recommendation is to set you up for success, because I want to teach you how to fish. And I want to show you where to find the fish. So you can just grab that and run with it from here on out as well, right? And if I show them in the beginning success, then we're good. So one case has 4 bottles. If they're drinking 2 ounces twice a day in the first week, they've consumed 1 of those 4 bottles. If they don't notice something truly spectacular at the end of 7 days, I say, all right, well, so we tried it out gently. Why don't you consider doing the volume of consumption that was done in the genetic study? The genetic study, reminding you, 100% of the participants saw a positive benefit at the end of their time frame. Now, they were drinking 8 ounces a day, which is 4 and 4. That's 2 bottles. That's 2 bottles in your second week. Out of that 4 bottle case, you've only got 1 bottle left, and you're just finished with week number 2. So I say, that's why I want you to have your 8 bottles, because then you can choose if you want to continue drinking the genetic study volume, which is 8 ounces a day, 4 and 4. You can continue on if you want. It's totally your choice. We're not advising on that. We're just saying this is a recommendation. You can choose if you want to do what that was, bump yourself up temporarily and do that. And once you have that spectacular experience and your body is doing something, you can back down and work it back into your budget so that it's going to be more budget friendly, if that's an issue for you. But you can drink as much as you absolutely want, because there's no one can be allergic to it. There's no toxicity. We can't have an issue. We can't react to it. And so I tell them, go ahead and populate in their, we have an auto ship, because if you set up an auto ship, you get a wholesale pricing. So, but the 90 days, you're going to need replenishment of what you just drank. So I say, populate an auto ship. for the next 2 months of one case each. Let's just start it small. You have your own control of your website. You set up the website and the password. You can come back in and, you can turn that on and off if you want or add to it. And so I know that sort of, got ahead, but I know you were asking me about the 90-day success protocol. But that's how I share with folks that come to me, and I say, this is the best case scenario that I can put out for you. You can choose whatever you want to do, and I will support that. But I really believe that if we saturate your cells right up front, you're going to feel something, and then you can go, wow, I love it. And then you can determine if you're going to pull back or if you're going to continue at that pace. And the majority of folks that I explain it to like that, they get it and they understand 90 days is such a small fraction of time compared to their lifetime of challenge that they've had, that they've been struggling with. And so I try to let them see that, and then my 5 years, I can't even put a number value on that, on how much money I spent. I mean, I'm traveling up and down the East Coast. I don't want other people to do that.
Wow, excellent. Well, how wonderful. Everything you just said, I'm sure has everybody really excited right now. Mm-hmm. Because what you're talking about, Buffy, is the difference between, hey, let's sell somebody a bottle or get somebody to sign up for a case, right? Thinking that therein lies the victory. Mm-hmm. No, that's not the point. The point is exactly what you just described. Yeah. It's ultimately having the greatest opportunity for success.
Yeah.
And I would venture a guess that just like we know that 90 days is 90% plus success, I bet you're seeing that level of success with the people you share it with, correct?
I am. I'm having really, really great success with folks. And they're, I reach out and I touch base with them, and I will help them to find out, if they want to increase sooner or they want to wait a few more days, I'm available to them, and I help them, because that's part of me and part of my customer support that I love to share. And I love, to tell people that, they might see this someplace else, but it certainly doesn't come with us. It doesn't come with the customer support, and doesn't come with a money back guarantee, and then they can just call and they can find out, and we can help them to adjust if they will. And, the money back guarantee is amazing because it ships directly from the company. There's amazing benefit in that. And that's your safety net. It's phenomenal. And that's, it's tracked. It's great.
Excellent. Excellent. And you said earlier that you feel obligated. I heard another doctor recently say that to me. And he says, we took an oath back whenever we went through school, right? And the oath was, if we're aware of something, whatever it is that can actually make a difference in somebody's life, we're literally obligated to tell them about that. And that's what you're talking about, right? And you said that you've helped more people since you've been associated with this technology than you have before the technology was available.
With no doubt.
Yeah. So tell us about, because I know everybody can feel the obligation that you're referring to just exude from you. So I mean, is this just patients? Are you sharing it with pretty much anybody that gets within 3 feet of you, or how does that go?
I actually was in line. I was mailing something and struck up a nice conversation with the mail carrier. And oh my goodness, she was such a sweet gal. And I thought, I would love to spend more time with her. I love people. I am a friend collector. And, whoever has the most friends is the winner. And it just, we struck up this conversation, and, we got into the conversation of, what I was doing there. And I said, I love changing lives. And I said, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about that. And she said, well, there's nobody behind you. Tell me. So, struck up this great conversation. I was able to show her a couple of, really quick videos that I happened to have right on my cell phone right there. And she said, sure, hand me your phone. And she watched them. And it was beautiful. But I I've never met a person. I've never met a person that, is not a friend. Everybody that I see is just, I mean, I love people and I love talking to people. And, I love helping people smile and helping people have a good day. And, there's so many folks out there that are in discomfort on so many different levels, whether it's, they have a health challenge, or they need something purpose in their life. I can't tell you how many people that I have found, and I share with them something like the fact that, I help people who are bored in retirement and who want to have purpose and want to get involved in something that really, really matters. They're like, well, tell me more. And I love sharing that.
That's fantastic. And you're right, because we all want to be part of something, especially if we can help each other, right?
Yes.
That's so important. You mentioned first responders, and I know this is a brand new terminology for many people that might be listening. Would you tell us more about what your thoughts are on first responders?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I was on the phone the other day and I was distracted and I was pulling something out of the oven and I burned myself. And the first thing I reached for was my Renew 28 gel. And I knew that I had touched that baking sheet longer than I should have. And I thought, okay, I have just a couple of minutes before it starts throbbing. And so, I rubbed it on and I rubbed it on and I rubbed it on. And I knew, I burn myself, periodically on different things, and what's going to happen. And I didn't have that response. And I know that I keep the Renew 28 in my glove compartment, the gel, the topical gel. And I keep the beverage in the sports pouch in my glove compartment as well, because, if I'm ever unfortunate enough to be in an accident, I will be drinking that while I'm waiting for the physical first responders to come and help me. And I will be slathering that gel on any areas that might be bleeding, because I know that a lot of people have been sharing that they're having instances where they're putting the gel on top and, miraculously their bleeding stops really fast. Imagine that, because we put the molecules on and the body knows right what to do with it. And it just goes to work. And so it's, first responders to me are just the anything that, I have going on. I'm going to try to find the easiest way out of everything that I have at my disposal. What is the easiest thing that I know my body is going to actually resonate with, not have to break down, not have to think about, is this synthetic? Is this from a food source? Is this really going to be absorbed? Or am I just going to put it out in the bathroom next time? I know Redox molecules are instantly going to be recognized. I'm replenishing what I have a deficiency in, and it's a total no-brainer for me.
This is so fantastic, because I feel the same way, and we use it the same way in our family. So, we have two traditional businesses as well. And we call it we have first aid kits at both businesses. And this is right there with it, because
Absolutely.
It is absolutely important for people to understand. You mentioned a burn. Some years ago, I did something really, really, really crazy. And I think the point I'm trying to make in this is, what are we, like when I burned myself, I picked up a 400-degree handle of a hot pan that came out of the oven like a dummy. And my skin literally stuck to the pan. And I knew it was going to be one of those really bad, right, burns.
Yeah.
And I did not have the thought. My first thought was not go get the ASEA or the Renew. But thankfully, my wife's first thought was, and I mean, literally before I put that pan down, she was already headed to get the Renew 28. And she dumped the whole little small tube on my hand.
Yeah.
And I was so grateful. Now, I didn't know. I had not burned myself before while I had the Renew 28 or the ASEA on board. And so I had no idea. I'd heard that it's really good for healing and helping the body heal in so many ways. But it's probably about 10 minutes, maybe not even that all of a sudden the pain starts coming, right? And Kathy, is my wife, is she's such a smart girl. So she takes a whole bottle of ASEA, the liquid, pours it in a big glass bowl, goes to the freezer and takes a baggie, fills it with ice and seals it, sticks it in there. And I thought for sure, I'm going to try to make it through the night, but I know I'm going to be probably in the ER tomorrow.
Yeah.
And set me up in the easy chair, and I put my hand in that solution. And because it was cool, it kept the pain at bay, right?
Yeah.
And I'd pull it out every once in a while and it would start hurting. I'd put it back in. And I was so surprised that after about maybe an hour and a half or so, I fell asleep. And when I woke up in the morning, there's my hand on the towel next to the bowl, and it was not in the bowl, and I didn't have any pain. And I can tell you, when I turned my hand over, I was shocked. I did not even have a blister. Now, I think first aid is so important, and I think all of us should be doing everything we can to help people understand. Have it in your car, have it at work.
Yes.
Get your family.
Yeah. Put it in your diaper bag, put it in your purse, put it in your golf bag. Oh gosh, how many of us get stung? How many of us, trip and fall? And it's so amazing that, we have the sizes that are portable, and easy to take. When my husband is out working in the yard, he's got one of the sports pouches in his back pocket. And, if he gets overheated or he feels that, he's ready to just give up for the day and, pack it in, and he's like, well, I want to go longer, he might pull that out and drink it. And then he's got, more time. And it's, he's noticed incredible endurance, just from working around the property and snow shoveling. That was his aha moment. He was able to shovel. He shoveled for 5 hours this last year. He never shovels for more than 1 hour. And that man shoveled our entire driveway for 5 hours. And comes in and he says, well, you might have to brush my teeth for me tomorrow, but I shoveled the whole driveway.
Oh, that's great. That's
Hey, real quick. Hey, Buffy, real quick. There's going to be a lot of people watching this that don't know what we're talking about. When you meet that brand new person, we have brand new people watching. I know we have a couple that we invited. Can you explain what this stuff is? What redox molecules are? How would you explain it to maybe a new patient coming in that knows nothing about it? That's not science.
Okay. It's a cell signaling supplement that signals your cells to be healthy. So our cells are always communicating and they're always sending out messages. But when we, so from birth to death, top to bottom, inside out, we are cells. All right. As we are, from puberty onward, we produce the most redox signaling molecules. We actually produce them. Our body produces them. Like we produce saliva and blood, we produce them. Okay. So when we're in puberty, we produce the largest volume of redox signaling molecules. From puberty onward, we're in a decline. So by the time we're in our 70s, we're only producing 10% of what we used to produce in our prime, which is why when we were 10, when we were 12, and we'd be falling off of a bicycle, we'd jump up, dust ourselves off and get back on and try to go show up the next person. Now we're limping over to the lawn chair to sit down for a while, because we don't have as many first responders in our own body to go and calm everything down and, put things to work. So as we age, as we're exposed to stresses and toxins, we produce less and less even still. Now, who has no stress, right? We all have stress. And so those of us living now, we're exposed to more stresses, more toxins, more pollutants in 30 minutes than people several generations ago were exposed to in their entire lifetimes. So we're producing less and less all the time. And so what we do is redox signaling molecules are exactly the same thing as our bodies produce, and they do it from the same thing. Our bodies go in and use salt and water from within our tissues to make redox signaling molecules. And that's as scientific as I ever get. It's basic. Everybody knows what salt and water is, and it's in us. It's in our bodies. So our company, ASEA, makes the same thing.
And it's heavily patented. It's always tested to make sure that it is truly what it is. And we have stamps on the end of our bottles that show that it's actually tested. So we're actually replenishing what we are deficient in. And so if you think of you're a car driving down the road and you have a bigger and bigger and bigger hole in your oil tank. And then by the time, you're dribbling oil all the way down, all down the road. And then eventually, if you don't fill that up, you're on the side of the road and your transmission is really in danger, or really shot. So we want to stay in front of that. We want to put redox molecules back in our body and allow that declining amount to be put back up. And then, so we're supplementing, we're replenishing what we are losing, because we're never going to make more. We're never going to start reproducing more redox signaling molecules. We're always going to be in a decline. So if we want to help our body to do the repair and restoration it needs, because when we're in a decline, that's like turning your radio station way down and you have to go, oh, you're trying to lean in to hear that song. Your body's trying to lean in to hear the messages, to hear the programming of what it's supposed to do. And that's why we get faulty messages, because the immune system can't hear that cry for help when it says, hey, you got some cells here that are reproducing and they're bad. They should be killing themselves, but they really should be, killing themselves and reproducing with good ones. The body isn't hearing that. And so the redox signaling molecules turns up that radio station, turns up that dial, and it amplifies it really loud, like it did when we were younger. And so now the body can go, oh, I got that message. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to work. And I kind of like to explain it like the radio again. If you've got the dial, but you're in the middle of two radio stations, you can't hear either song. You can't really interact with either guest speaker that you might want to be listening to. There's a lot of static and there's a lot of junk in there. And so it dials you right straight in, and all that static just goes away, and your body can go, I remember what I'm supposed to do. Let me go to town and let me do some repair. We don't have to tell it what to do. The body knows what it needs to do. And the only thing we have to do twice a day, drink this beverage. That is my absolute easy button. If I've got someone who is going out of the country and they're going to do some volunteer work or mission work where they're doing something, they don't have time to do a protocol of, this detox or that detox, or take this before this and drink this and don't drink that. All I need to do is tell them, just take this, support your body this way, take some gel, rub it on. If you rub up against something and you have something wrong with your skin, try it. It's great support. If you get, bitten or stung by anything, that, is going to be uncomfortable, rub it on, drink some more of the beverage. It can't hurt you. It can support you. It is just so beautifully perfect.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of people they think this might be a older person beverage.
Oh, heck no.
But can you speak to the younger people, but also speak to the people, because I know we have a few people on that might be dealing with something where they may require more of the molecules. They may have something going on pretty serious in their body. Can you speak to how you would cope with, would suggest people take the molecules for that?
Yeah. So the first group was, the young folks, right? They're just starting out in life. They think they're invincible. We all did. And they're having the time of their lives, and they're working hard and they're learning hard and they're starting their own families, but they're all looking for that edge, right? A lot of people are drinking the energy drinks, or they're taking, this energy shot or whatever. Everybody's going to the gas station or drinking double caffeine, double this, double that. And they're looking for that, but there's always that crash, and those are all synthetic. It's all, things that can be unhealthy for you. And my goodness, we have Olympic athletes that are just breaking their own records with this. Cognitive ability is improved. You can think sharper. It's amazing how your body responds, because what I hear back is the majority of people will say, wow, I've just had sleep out of my life, or that I can remember. I used to sleep like that when I was whenever. So sleep is amazing. And who doesn't want better sleep? Like I said, our young emerging leaders of our world, that they have, the world is their oyster.
they're probably not sleeping as much as they would like to be. And if we can help them get deeper sleep, because their body can do that with this, of course, we're not making any claims, we're not making any promises, but that's generally how, that's the first thing that I generally hear is people say, wow, sleep is great, energy is great, wow, my focus is great, colors are better, smells are better. It's like you have your Christmas tree and it's decorated and it's gorgeous and you think it's perfect. It's not perfect until you turn it on and then you go, wow. Okay, redox signaling molecules is like plugging in that Christmas tree. You just light up and your body lights up. So that's where I tell new folks, young aspiring leaders, young aspiring folks, this is your edge. By golly, this is your edge. So other people that, have a stronger challenge, what I like to tell them is that what I have learned is that redox signaling molecules has a 120-minute maximum efficiency time frame before, before we may want to put some more in. And so if someone has an issue where they have something that is working against the clock, or they have been told you have a certain amount of time left and let's go enjoy your life, or something like that, or they have something that is just running away from them in their health. It's replicating. It's like a snowball going downhill, and they're fighting against something really significant. I will tell them, you can drink however much you want, in as much quantity as you want. It is totally up to you, because you cannot drink too much of this and you are in a decline. Your body is in a redox deficiency. So because we can't be allergic to it, there's no upper level toxicity. There's no LD50. For those of you that might be scientific or medically trained, that LD50 rating will help you to know there's not one for this. And so there is no upper level. It's safer than water, actually. And it's a beautiful thing. And so I will tell those folks that if I personally, Buffy Donahoo here in Virginia, was fighting against the clock for something, you betcha I would be drinking some of this beverage every 2 hours and it would never leave my side.
Yeah, well said. And Buffy, you were talking about back when you were just about to start your brick and mortar business, right? You learned about ASEA. And so what about other healthcare professionals you might be having an opportunity to have a conversation with, or colleagues, right?
Yeah.
Here it's completely shifted and changed your business.
Oh,
How
yeah.
would you help them understand this could change, obviously, their lives, but also their business as well?
Well, I have a story behind that. And obviously, I tell them that it is the most, it's the most incredible thing, because I know that most practitioners like me come into this because they want to help people and they want to give people a better quality of life, right? And we all want to help people to get out of their discomfort in some way, shape, or form. Well, this is the biggest health and wellness discovery since the discovery of penicillin and DNA. And I tell them, this is the equivalent of being Henry Ford, when Henry Ford developed the automobile, and it was a category creator. Nobody else. The other form of transportation was horse and buggy. This is a totally new field of science that we're in. And so it's kind of like also being Thomas Edison when he created the light bulb, or when he invented the light bulb, right? And prior to that, people had candles and they never understood. And so the beauty is, we are in the space, in the category of being Thomas Edison or Henry Ford, because people, if they wanted an automobile, they had to go to Henry Ford. If they wanted a light bulb, they had to go to Thomas Edison, right? So just imagine being Henry Ford, and then imagine other car dealerships come along and you get a benefit from all the other car dealership sales because you developed the automobile. That's really what we're talking about here, because you can share this with other people and you can get a thank you for that, from the company. And it can be the most amazing business opportunity because it just spreads. And it's kind of like, I was explaining this to somebody recently in my storytelling way. It's kind of like
baking bread. You let it rise and it just grows, right? And that's the people that you introduce it to, and it just grows and grows and grows. Well, then you decide you're going to bake it, and then you have this delicious aroma, and you put this nice butter on it, and everybody wants some. That's where we're at. People hear about it. Doctors, scientists, practitioners hear about it. They want to know more, and they want to know, why didn't somebody else tell me about this sooner? I could have helped this person. I could have helped that person. We all know people that we've lost. And those of us that are in business to help people, whether it's business in a brick and mortar or business like this, business is just a name. We are sharing information. We're introducing this, and we have a passion to share this. And it's the company. I mean, they started. It's top down. They are people driven, and that's how it started. They made the decision to actually have this technology in this space. Instead of selling it in a different opportunity, they chose people over those, that other opportunity and those profits. And that brings me to tears every time I go into that story. And I don't know if that's anything you want to share here, but I love that I've aligned with a company that has ethics and values, and that is where I'm at, and that I know that they're always going to support me helping my fellow man and helping other people to see there is hope out there. They might not take advantage of it, but it's there. And then when they know somebody else that they know has an issue, I just ask them, please send them back to us. Let us educate them about it. Let us tell them, because you can't learn about it on the back of one of these bottles. You just can't. And you've got to hear from it from someone who has the whole truth. Because there's a lot of junk out there online about everything, and we have the truth, and really we have the ticket for a lot of people to freedom outside of that rat race, that gerbil wheel.
Wow, that was very well said. That was absolutely magnificent.
Thank you.
Buffy, as I think this is going to go down in history as one of the most inspiring recordings that has ever been made. It's certainly way up there top of one of my favorites. So you have touched me, and I know you've touched Jim and everybody that's watching today.
Thank you
And
so
I know
much.
I know that you have become a partner with this very unique, for lack of a better word, opportunity. But we need a much bigger word, right? It's I almost look at it as a miracle for humanity, but it's a miracle for all of us, all of us to be able to partner and be around people like you and people like the founders and the executives and the people that ASEA attracts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine a more perfect storm. And so as we wrap up tonight, I would love your views on, here you are with a background of in health, understanding how to help people naturally, right?
Yeah.
In so many amazing, unique ways. And you understand, I know you understand Western medicine as well, to a large degree. And so if we think about these ways that have been available to help people around the world for really a long, long time now, and now there's a new paradigm.
Yeah.
There's a new way to think about health. And so how do you feel this will impact the health of the world, the health of all of humanity?
Yeah. You broke up just a little bit. Can you give me the question? I didn't hear the question.
Yeah. So how do you feel this will impact the future of health and healthcare?
I don't even think we have hit the iceberg yet. I mean, it's just there is so much to this that we have no grasp on. Maybe what we're looking at is we're looking at the top of the iceberg, but if you know how an iceberg is, the bottom is massive. It's all hidden. It just hasn't been revealed yet. And it's all just this massive amount down there. And I think it's really, really just going to grow and grow and grow in the most remarkable way, bigger and faster than anything we've ever seen before. Because we all want answers, and we all want hope, and we all want some beautiful, happy things to happen in our lives. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really frustrated every time I watch television and I see, if you took this and now you have this for that and this happened, call us. Giving people the opportunity to not have to step into that space unless there is that dire emergency. I mean, if I get hit by a bus, please take me to the local emergency room. Our emergency care is absolutely incredible, the best in the world, I really believe. And so take me. I want the best care possible. But once I'm done, let me come home and let me help my body to just repair itself and repair on its own, and just to help my body to know what it wants to do. And there's so many of us that have apprehension about doing anything else because there's so much misinformation out there. There is so much good, solid scientific information about redox signaling molecules. You can go to PubMed, it stands for, it's publication medical, but it's pubmed.gov. You can look at all of the studies there. I would encourage people to go to the actual research sites, not the search sites, okay? Research sites where our doctors and our pharmacists and our scientific professionals go. They go to pubmed.gov. They go to the NIH websites. They go to Google Scholar. If you don't know what Google Scholar is, and for those that are hearing this, if you don't know, please go, I believe it's scholar.google. You can search for redox signaling, redox biochemistry, and then you tuck in behind it any sort of a health challenge that interests you. And it's like pulling back the curtain at the Wizard of Oz, as I heard the other day. It's just, oh, and you see what's there, but you see the beauty of all of this research that's actually out there. And so there are people that are saying, this is just a fad. It's not a fad. This is the biggest thing I have ever personally been involved in. And if I didn't get a dime for sharing this, you can bet I would be doing this. Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, I would be sharing this. And there are more and more and more people that feel that exact same way. But I am very, very grateful for the opportunity and the business opportunity, because it's nothing like anything I've ever seen. And I've been involved in a couple of these different companies before in this space. And they were very, very smart, very, very wise, because all of our leaders came from corporate America. They know how to run a worldwide global business. They know it. And so they've brought all of that knowledge, all of that background, all of that expertise, and they've brought it in. And we're the lucky recipients of having all of that vast knowledge and training. And I don't know collectively how many years experience they have, but wow, just wow. That's my word. Wow.
Well said, Buffy. Well said. What a great evening you've given us all. And I know this is a treasure that will be treasured for a long time to come. Jim, I'm blown away. Buffy, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I can't wait to see you at convention. I will keep my eyes out for you. So
I'll find you as well. Thank you. It's been my honor and my great pleasure.
Hey, Buffy, real quick. Someone asked a question in the chat. Can you explain how you explain the potential of your body getting cleansed out with these molecules and what that may cause them to feel or not feel?
Yeah, absolutely. So I want you to think about a house under renovation. You have one renovation crew and you have one cleanup crew. Your cleanup crew is water, right? So everybody wants to be drinking a good amount of water. The industry standard recommendation is half your body weight in ounces of water that will help your body to push out all of the cellular debris and help you to have good functioning, a good functioning body. So let's say before redox molecules, you have that one renovation crew, because you are now a house under renovation, right? You have one renovation crew and one cleanup crew. When you start drinking a sea of redox and you start bringing on
the gel as well, and you're getting molecules in your body, you've effectively just invited 10 renovation crews to your house cleanup, to your house renovation, right? So the job is going to get done faster and it's going to get done more extensively. But if you still have one clean crew, they're going to be screaming. They're going to go, wait, there's too much. It's happening too fast. And so you might be uncomfortable. You might have some head tension. You might have some stomach discomfort because there's a lot of cellular debris that's getting released from your cells, long-held, long-standing issues, because now it's like, wow, okay, let's clean house. Let's resolve this. Let's do that. And it just kicks it all up. And so there's a lot of, say, dust in the air and a lot of junk on the floor. You've got to invite in more water, making sure that you're at the industry standard recommended amount of half your body weight so it can flush it out. So if you're not drinking enough water, if somebody comes to me and they're not drinking enough water and they say, I don't want to increase my water, I'm going to tell them to wait, because I don't want to put them in a situation where they might feel uncomfortable and they're going to come back and say, well, this is making me feel really icky. Well, if you have a sink full of dishes, Thanksgiving, Christmas dishes, you have a sink full of dishes and they're just overflowing, and you've got 5 people now with their hands and they're trying to wash them, and there's only 1 cup of water in there to wash those dishes, it's not going to happen very well, and you're going to have total chaos, and your dishes aren't going to be really clean. And it's the same with your house under renovation. Have enough water. The cellular debris can come out just like, it's a waterfall. It's just going to start coming out. But if a person is feeling some tension, some discomfort, some discomfort in any capacity, I will actually, number one, I'm going to ask them, are you drinking enough beverage, drinking water, not anything else? Water cleans you, right? We are water. And then if they say yes, then I will ask them, because I'm a partner. We are partners to the people that we introduce this to. I will then, if they bring this up to me, I will say, okay, let's slow down on drinking Redox for you just a little bit, because your body's responding really well. And that's a home run. I'm really, really excited to know that you have just had that experience, because you're one of the rare 10 to 15% right now that's experiencing that. So hooray, but let's slow it down. You've seen an experience, you've seen something great. Slow it down, increase your water a little bit so that you're still, in a good range. And then once that discomfort is dissipated, you can bring in the cleaning or the renovation crew again, increase your redox molecules again, and just pace yourself, because we all have our own sweet spot. Just like one person may want 3 oranges today, one person may want 1. You have total control over how much you want to consume and how fast you want your renovation project to happen. Can I share one last testimonial that I think is really impactful?
Please,
Yes.
please.
Okay. I talk about the volume of consumption for the gene study. I had my experience on 2 ounces twice a day in 8 days. It was phenomenal. And so I kept pace with that 2 ounces twice a day, and I was doing great. And then I kept reading all of the different testimonials in A See a Healthy Self. So for those of you that might be listening and you haven't been invited to that, ask your friend to invite you to that, because it'll blow you away. But I was continuing to read all those, and I thought, I want more benefits. I'm going to see what my body will do if I increase my level of consumption to what was done in the gene study, which is 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces at night, a total of 8 ounces. And so I had a different secret struggle. In 2005, so 14 years ago, I had a cold, and I used an over-the-counter nasal cold product. Helped me with my cold that night. The next morning, I couldn't taste and I couldn't smell. So for 14 years, I would have to ask my husband, is this chicken still good? Has this gone bad? We'd come out of town, come from traveling or whatever. That's no fun when you're trying to run a kitchen and you're trying to keep your family safe from giving them something that's gone bad. And my sense of smell used to be so acute that I could smell everything, and I could tell you perfume names and different things. So when I started drinking 8 ounces a day, 5 days later, I could taste and I could smell. But there's more. 3 weeks after that, I was awoken in the middle of the night to the smell of smoke. I woke up my husband, and we had an attic fire. Redox signaling molecules saved our lives.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have an obligation to tell people, I don't know what this is going to do for your body. I don't know what this will do for your family or for your practice or your clients, but I know it can't hurt and they have nothing to lose.
Well, Buffy, this has been such an amazing night. I can guarantee you that everybody that's on right now is completely fired up. I wouldn't be surprised if as soon as we end this meeting, they're going to be on the phone to people. So you've certainly inspired me, and I want to thank you for being with us.
You're so welcome. Thank you. It's been my absolute pleasure.
I've got a feeling I'm going to go ahead and put this one out there for people to see, Buffy, that where it's not just on United. So, because a couple of people have asked if we could put it out there for, this was very safe. This is very good for people to hear. You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Tell your friend I'm glad she didn't join us and we got the best one. Don't tell her I said that though, okay?
Yeah, she's, actually, she's the one that introduced me to natural health when I first moved back to America from England.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to having her on our show as well.
Yes, she is amazing and one of my dear, dear friends. You're gonna have a treat in front of you. She's absolutely amazing.
Well, she's going to have a tough show to follow after this. So thank you. And guys, we want to thank you all. We do have Dr. Weissman on next Friday. He is with ASEA, obviously, and that's going to be amazing. We also then have the week after, on the 23rd, Michael Didano. Is that how you said it? He's an amazing athlete, and if you were at convention last year, you saw him get up on stage. Can you say his name correctly, Buffy? Do you know how to?
I'll take a guess. I think it's D Donatello.
That's it.
D Donatello.
Yeah, something like that. He'll correct us. But guys, we're going to have him on, and then we've got some other people lined up, and we do have our annual convention coming up soon. So yes, I'm very much looking forward to meeting you, Buffy.
Excellent. Well, I can't wait to meet you as well, and we can talk about the Riverwalk, San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yellow. Love it.
I haven't been down there in a long time. We live here, right? It's like, wait a minute, is the Alamo still here? Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. William, thank you. Buffy, that was an honor and a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
guys.
everybody.
See you
Good night,
next
everybody.
week.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye.